Hello and welcome to Trending at 10. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. Nearly 2 days after the CBSE's shock announcement about a re-examination of two papers, Maths and Economics, its chief, Anita Karwal, said the decision had been taken in favour of children. The dates for the re-examinations, she said, would be announced very soon. But is that statement from the CBSE chief enough? Why is there no new date yet? The police have questioned 25 people today, but not one person was from the CBSE. Just how is accountability going to be fixed? Also, the paper leak today becoming the subject of much political mudslinging. But can this sort of mudslinging actually stop leaks in the future? We'll be looking at all of that in a moment. But first, here's a look at our top trends today. And of course, CBSE has been trending all day on our website, NDTV.com. Tutors of tutorial homes and some college students being questioned by the police. The other big trend, the ball tampering row, and today the latest person to face the consequences of that was the Australian coach Darren Lehman, who is going to step down after the fourth test. Our other big trend on NDTV.com today, the Congress's Renuka Chaudhary being body shamed by Vice President Venkaiah Naidu in the Rajya Sabha. She'll be joining us on the show a little later on. Let's take a quick look at the Twitter trends today, and the big trend right now is ISRO's successful launch of the GSAT-6A communication satellite from Sriharikota, which will be able to send and receive signals from handheld devices. And of course, CBSE continues to be a big trend. But let's get you all the latest on that big story today. Breaking her silence, the CBSE chief appeared for the first time today and said that students who have to sit for the re-examinations due to a paper leak have nothing to worry about, and that fresh exam dates are going to be announced soon. Despite her assurances, the irony is that the CBSE and the Delhi police actually knew about the leaked question paper 2 whole days before millions of students took the examination on Monday. Now, that's what the police complaint that NDTV has accessed has revealed. So why did the CBSE and the police not follow up on the tip-off? Why were students across India made to sit for their mathematics and economic exams knowing that they should have been called off or postponed and a fresh date with a new paper been there? Well, that's the question millions of students and parents are grappling with tonight. 18 students from various Delhi schools and colleges and 5 tutors have been questioned as the police tries to trace the source of that leak. But as we said, not a single person from the CBSE has been questioned. The Delhi police has accused a Rajouri garden-based coaching teacher in Delhi for allegedly being involved in the paper leak. But his students are backing him. They say he's being made a scapegoat. The government held a press conference assuring action. The Congress is now straight on demanding the removal of both HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar and CBSE chairperson Anita Karwal. Well, could the examinations have been scrapped since the board knew 2 days in advance? We'll be asking all of those questions. Joining us on the program tonight from the Congress, we have Jaiveer Shergill, Pradeep Bhandari, founder of Jan Ki Baat, also joining us on the show. We also have 2 concerned, anguished parents joining us. Arunabha Sinha, his son has appeared for the Class 10 boards, and Jaspreet Chopra, also a concerned parent, part of her school's PTA as well, and she has several points that she would like to raise as well. But Jaiveer Shergill, let me begin with you. Since the Congress has made it an all-out political war today, why this mudslinging at this point, as our hearts go out to all these students who are going to have to sit for these exams and their parents, and there's so many concerns, is this political mudslinging going to help?
If doing or demanding accountability and answerability is labelled as doing politics, then Congress will continue to do politics for the sake of this nation, point one. Secondly, look at what is the larger picture. Only information on PM's educational qualification degree is secure and confidential. Rest, all the data is being leaked in this country. You have the SSC leak compromising on 2 crore youth. You have the CBSE leak compromising on 24 lakh approach. Now, what do you see from the government? Mere condemnation and shedding crocodile tears will not help. Political accountability has to be fixed. HRD minister has to resign, and so does the CBSE chief. Now, what has happened? Ankita, you said 2 days before, this document will shock you. CBSE and government were aware of the potential leak since 4th March 2018, but they chose to remain mute spectators and sit like lame ducks. I have a circular of 4th March 2018 saying that there are potential WhatsApp interceptions. Yes. Why did the CBSE not lodge an FIR or complaint? Why did the government? Because The HRD minister is busy playing politics in Bengal, and the CBSE head is promoting her book on mountaineering in Hyderabad. Three things. The government tweaked the policy to increase the risk of copying. Why did the CBI change the policy of setting 3 questions as a set of 3 questions to avoid duplicity?
Okay.
Why was the policy of dividing India into 4 zones to avoid seepage, leaking, scrapped? The Prime Minister is expert in giving sermons and taking selfie with students, but now he has to answer also.
Okay,
this is not a one-way traffic.
Fair point. Pradeep Bhandari, come in on this. I think the question at this point is, where do we fix accountability? Now, whether it's about asking people to step down or resign or be sacked is another matter entirely. But clearly, there are more questions than answers over here. If the CBSE did know in advance, and, you know, leaving aside this other circular that the Congress is bringing up, their own FIR to the police says that they knew about it at least 48 hours before the exam. Why was the examination then not scrapped? Why did children have to go through this charade?
Ankita, I am absolutely anguished, and let me tell you that yes, accountability needs to be fixed till the top of the CBSE. And yes, I agree on the principle that CBSE is the primary body which is responsible for ensuring that free and fair examinations are conducted, especially the board examination,
so
which decides.
Could something like this have happened without
insider
help? The Congress does raise a fair question that
Ankita,
they had
yes,
a
it's
policy.
a fair. Can you please?
May I quickly just make this one point, that they had a policy earlier of having 3 sets of question papers per subject. Now, why was that done away with?
Absolutely agreed. I'm saying that an inquiry has been lodged. There's 25 people who questioned. Now, my point here is that only an insider would not solve the problem. You should not catch the small fish. You should go to the level of the director. And I agree that the CBSE cannot be saying that only it's one of the insiders. It has been happening. I don't want to get into that whataboutery. Yes, it's something which has affected the students. I empathize with the students as much as Javeed ji is doing. But what I'm saying is that the body CBSE has to take the accountability. It would be naive to say that the government here also should resign or the minister should resign, because the minister is equally empathetic with it, and the minister has said that yes, the CBSE is accountable, and मैं तब तक नहीं सोऊंगा जब तक इसकी कार्रवाई नहीं हो जाती. And on a specific point, the larger issue is that we should think about a national testing agency or a body like which conducts an examination like GRE and GMAT is done, where technology is infused in the system, and you do not make it mechanical.
Digitize these exams as well. We wonder how successful that's
all of us have to ensure that technology is infused, provided in the system, so that
in the same way that Aadhaar, of course, has been
Aadhaar is a separate debate. I don't want to get into it. It will digress the issue
of
from
any
the
kind.
students.
Anyway, I want to bring the parents in because, you know, that's another debate entirely. Jaspreet, I want to ask you, we heard from the CBSE chairman at long last today, and she said, oh, we're with the children, but we don't have a new date yet. We'll tell you about a new date soon. Were you satisfied with what the CBSE chairman said today?
Absolutely not, Ankita. In fact, the spokesperson has just mentioned that the CBSE is empathetic. Well, I don't see that empathy, because I don't understand why the decision is being prolonged. The children have already had so much stress, and you know, now they are being tortured. Why the torture? Quickly announce the date and get over with it. You know, class 10 finishes exams on 2nd of April, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, whenever you do it, get it over. Similarly for class 12, they have to in fact go for entrance exams and so many other exams where they need to be feeling more confident and up to it. So let's not prolong it.
Would you say that this is a problem for not just the students but the school as well, since you're part of your child's school's PTA?
Absolutely. Our school, you see, we have a timetable planned for around the year, where we have cultural exchanges planned, we have other extracurricular activities planned for the year, where CBSE has recently gone on board and said that they want to encourage extracurricular activity. But why this attempt right now that, you know, the entire timetable for the school is getting upset? And moreover, the parents are also facing a lot of agony, because everybody had planned their vacations, somebody had educational trips to go to, cultural exchanges to go to, everything has been shelved, and airlines are not giving us any redressal. In fact, I wish there was somebody from civil aviation here to also analyze the monetary loss that we are going into because of this.
And in fact, you were saying that your child is a part of a study exchange tour to Germany, and Air India hasn't sort of had
They have not cooperated. In fact, nobody is available because everybody seems to be on leave, and my tickets go into no show on Monday. and I have no redressal as far as it's concerned.
Rabu Sinha, I want to bring you in at this point as well. Obviously problems galore for parents, but are there larger questions at stake over here? We keep hearing suggestions like digitize the exams or have a national teaching agency that will be sort of looking into all of this. But really, are people just passing the buck at this point? After all, we didn't even hear from the HRD minister, who was busy talking about the violence in Bengal until journalists raised the question of the CBSE paper leak.
There's certainly larger issues. Let's not forget that the 1.6 million children who are taking their CBSE Class 10 exams this year, it was sprung upon them at the beginning of the academic year that they would have to go in for board exams. Many of them were prepared for the continuous evaluation system that they'd been undertaking until then. So that was quite a shock. They didn't know that this was going to come. The HRD ministry decided to implement it at a year's notice instead of 2 years, which would have given them enough time. So here's a bunch of children who are already going in fairly shaky. They have no idea what they're going in for. Next, you shatter their confidence with the kind of thing that has happened. And what does this do long term for the relationship of confidence that students are supposed to have in the authorities who conduct examinations? It's become a laughing stock. The kids are laughing. They're laughing about it. What guarantee do they have that the paper is not going to be leaked all over again?
Indeed.
And which brings me to the next point, which is that ensuring security of question papers is an integral part of the process of conducting examinations. It is not a peripheral activity. It is not something that you put aside and assign to a bunch of other people who are supposed to look after it. So if you have not built that into your processes from day one, then you've obviously failed from the beginning. You're now operating in an environment where everyone is digital, where information can be shared very, very easily. Have these things been even taken into account?
Okay.